Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban is blocking Ukraine's bid to start EU membership talks. He said Ukraine did not fulfill the criteria to start the talks, citing corruption and other concerns. Meanwhile, the Biden administration has hit hundreds of individuals and firms from Russia to China and Turkey, as well as the United Arab Emirates, with new economic and diplomatic sanctions. The U.S. is targeting those helping Moscow obtain weapons for its invasion of Ukraine. The penalties now make Russia the most sanctioned country in the world. And for the first time since launching the invasion of Ukraine, President Vladimir Putin held his year-end news conference with constituents. Putin said the years-long war will continue until Russia reaches its goals. And for more on that, I want to bring in CBS News contributor Mary Ilyushina. Thanks for joining us, Mary. So this is like hours-long live Q&A session that Putin has. I had read that 2,000 questions were submitted. So we're going to get into it. But before we actually get into the war, Putin announced that he was running again for a sixth term as president about a week ago. Has he spoken at all? Did he speak at the event about his decision to run again? And how are Russians responding to this?
Well, he didn't directly address it. There were some people who were putting in questions for him, saying, "We support your decision very much." There was one young state TV reporter who said, "I support your decision, and as long as I remember, you've always been in power." And that was kind of an awkward thing because, he doesn't remember a different president than Vladimir Putin. But the whole announcement was very low key. He didn't even directly announce it. It was done through a Russian military officer serving in Ukraine. And he is kind of treating this event and all the subsequent things that we're going to see as kind of part of his campaign. But he's going to present himself as this very kind of humble leader who has to stay in power because the situation is very, complex and difficult and the war is going on. He can't just leave it. And he said, afterwards in the comments, since he announced that, he at times had different thoughts about whether he wants to run again or not, but he eventually decided that he will do it, and we'll potentially see him in power until 2030 if he completes this term.
Yeah, and we should point out, we're using the word war, but he doesn't, right? He's still not saying that this is a war. So that brings me to this. According to U.S. intelligence, Russia has lost 315,000 Russian troops. They've been killed or wounded on the battlefield since the beginning of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. That's 87% of Russia's military personnel. I mean, I would think that in Russia, many people would know or know of someone who was either killed or injured. Has Putin addressed this at all? And could this signal another mobilization at some point?
Well, he was actually asked about mobilization. That was one of the very first questions that he was asked about. He said he doesn't see the need to have one because the Russian Defense Ministry has launched early this year this really wide and aggressive campaign to have contract soldiers. And Putin claimed that they were managed to attract as contractors over 480,000 people. And he claims also that about 1,500 men sign up every day. And he kind of used that argument to say that there is no need for additional reinforcement. He did not address the losses. And he said that Russian force in Ukraine right now is over 600,000 people. And they really keep any kind of losses under wraps. But another thing that he hasn't addressed yet, which is something that, the Kremlin is facing a lot of pressure, is from the wives of mobilized Russian soldiers who have been in the trenches up to 15 months without rotation. And there's still no end in sight about when they will actually return home. And he's very much stayed quiet on that topic because that's becoming a very sensitive issue inside of Russia.
Oh, that's fascinating. Mary Ilyushina, it's always great talking to you. Thank you. Well, Finland is set to reopen 2 of their 8 border crossing points with Russia today. The crossings were closed 2 weeks ago amid an influx of migrants. The Finnish prime minister claims Moscow was deliberately bringing migrants to the border in an act of, quote, hybrid warfare. The Kremlin denies those accusations. The 2 crossing points will reopen until at least January 14th. Finland's interior minister says that they will close the border again if, quote, the operation continues. And South Korea was forced to scramble fighter jets after Russian and Chinese warplanes flew into its defense airspace zone without warning. South Korean officials say Russian and Chinese jets crossed over the Sea of Japan for around 17 minutes and then left. The South Korean military said the planes did not violate the country's territorial airspace.